share, is it?
Tak apa, nanti kita tu. We are live already, ya?
Wait. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amir Bahari, and tonight we are broadcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And today, with me, I have two guests. Number one is Counsel Chu Diwei, and number two is Counsel Lau Chui Ping. And we'll start today's session by giving way to Ms. Lau to introduce herself. What does she, her practice area, and the referral that she's looking for. CP, you have 30 seconds. Over to you.
Right. My name is Chui Ping. I am a family lawyer in practice for more than 30 years. So I specialize in divorce, debt collection, death, and distribution. So the referrals I'm looking for are power team, like fellow lawyers, accountants, bereavement specialists, company secretaries, wealth planners, even doctors, nurses. Yes, back to you.
Thanks, CP. Next, Diwei. Over to you, Diwei. The floor is yours for 30 seconds.
Thanks, Amir. My name is Diwei. I have my own firm called Mrs. Chu Diwei. 5 lawyers under me, one soon-to-be lawyer from a pupil. I do a myriad of cases, primarily litigation, which also includes family matters. So essentially anything that goes to court, it's in dispute, then that's what I do. That's it. Back to you, Amir.
Thank you, Diwei. Thank you. And now it's my turn. Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Amir Bahari. This is a can. You don't want to be in a can because the can is small, pressurized, and there's not much room to maneuver. That's where I come in. I make sure that your relationship, your marriage, and your assets are not stuffed in a can by making marriage agreement, wills, and trust. I'm Amir Bahari from Bahari and Bahari. Plan when you can before you are can in the plan. And tonight's session will be given. You'll be given. The topic is the smoking gun, right? The smoking gun. Diwei and CP, have you read the brief today?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. Now
Yes,
I shall change my name, so I will be Robert. Okay.
Hello, Robert.
Not yet. Wait, let me change my name first. People will think that this is Amir's problem, and we are like, okay. We had that in our first program. Okay, so I'm Robert. Okay, so now I'm coming in. Okay, now do you want me to start or you like to start?
Maybe we start.
I start. Okay. Okay, so before you want to off your mic while I will speak, and if you want to ask question, I'll make way. You just raise your hand and I'll make way. Okay. Hi. Good afternoon, Counsel Chu Diwei and Counsel Lau Chui Ping. My name is Robert. Actually, today I come and see you because I have marital problem. So I hope you can help me with my marital problem. Is it okay if I share with you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, my story is like this. I'm married to my wife Fiona. She's 40 years old. Okay, I'm 63. And I've been married for 3 years. Okay. This is my first marriage and Fiona's second marriage. I have a son who is 2 years old. And both myself and Fiona, we are Malaysians. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm meeting you today is because I suspect Fiona has a extramarital affair. I think because, one day I came home. Actually, we have 2 separate safe. And when I went to Fiona's safe, I found it was unlocked. And suddenly I found that there was cash of 5 million ringgit and some other money in other denomination. So that made me suspicious that that she's having extramarital affairs. So I want to know what's your thought about this? You want to ask me any question?
If I could start first, when you said you suspect there's some affair, who is this adulterer, or perhaps more than one adulterer? And
You mean who
would
is she
be-
screwing? Is it?
In a very practical terms, yes.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm open. Actually, it's okay. But my friend, I'm 63. I've seen the world enough. I have one leg in the grave, so it's okay. Right. So I suspect that she's. So what I did was, I hired a private investigator, Mr. Raju. Okay, I gave him the brief. I paid him money. I gave him the brief. Raju actually tailed Fiona. And actually, there was certain pattern established. So every day at 3 o'clock sharp, she will go to this business coach office every day for about 2 hours. And 3 hours, sorry, for 3 hours. And after that, she will come out and with the hair wet. I don't know what business coach is doing until her hair is wet. Okay, and sometimes she doesn't walk straight anymore. So yeah. And to make sure that I know this Mr. Raju is doing his work, actually I put a transponder in Fiona's car. And Raju's written report tally with the transponder. And I also realized that I mean, like, this is terrible, man, devastating. So I So, and then what I did was I have this. I went to my friend who helped me in from BNI. He is what we call he has the gadget master. So actually, I put a tracker in Fiona's phone. I tap her phone, and I could actually, in real time, I could hear her having conversation with the lover. So that made me very angry. Now, if you're in my shoe, having your wife screwing other people, or other people screwing your wife, what would you feel? Do I have the right to be angry?
Yes.
So that is why I'm seeing you today, because I think I want to teach her and the lover a very good lesson. So I heard that both of you are the best in town to do this kind to do this kind of job, So I hope I get my money's worth lah.
Right. Robert, so what are you actually looking for? What do you want?
What do I want?
Yes.
I mean, okay, I want to teach both of them a lesson. Number one, don't screw people's wife. Number two, if you do, if he does, make sure be man enough, be man up and pay for it. You know how much I have to maintain Fiona every month? 50,000 ringgit just for her maintenance every month. This one is not the shopping money whatsoever. This is just her allowance, 50,000 ringgit. And this is what she does to me. I mean, I feel so cheated and so shortchanged.
When did you first discover about the sort of affair?
It was 2 weeks ago. Actually, I've given your junior attorney a copy of all the pictures and the transcript of all the conversation, and also the photograph by Mr. Raju. But I feel that actually my office is preparing it, and after this meeting, they will pass you all this evidence. So if you ask me, it's about a week ago.
Right.
Maybe we can tackle it in the different parts of it. So perhaps we could tackle the adultery aspect first. What do you think, Jacob?
Yes. Possibly. Yeah.
What the adultery? Okay, we're all adults. Go ahead.
I'm being highly presumptuous here, but you would want to end this marriage, right, Robert?
Definitely. I mean, like, I can't be going around with people laughing behind my back,
Okay, so no hopes of salvaging this or trying to reconcile with Fiona.
What, I mean, forgive and forget? Knowing that she's been touched by another man? Brother, this is my first marriage. I saved my virginity for her, okay?
Okay.
That's why I'm so angry.
Okay.
Okay.
See, my nostril big already. See, I'm very angry now. How can she do this to me? I saved my virginity 60 years for her, and this is what happened. This is awful, man.
Right. I hear you, Robert. So can I assume that what you want is actually a divorce?
Yes. So basically, I'm here today. I want to know what is the general procedure for a divorce in the Malaysian civil court.
Right. Have you spoken to Fiona yet? Have you confronted her over this matter?
No, I don't want to be dead because I've got to know in Malaysia, sometimes when couples confront, they end up dead. A couple working in a multinational oil company, and number two, there's a couple in Johor. When you confront, they end up dead. So I don't want to be dead. I don't want to be poisoned. I don't want to be knifed. I don't want to be burned. I want to be alive.
Well, how well do you know your wife if you're assuming this kind of a thing? I mean, you are married for 3 years and you're assuming the worst of your wife, that she's actually a gangster. You're not even giving her a benefit of doubt. You're not even discussing it, you know? So you are actually like, I would actually see that you are doing out of revenge, and what is your ultimate purpose, in doing that? Because you have to remember you have a son, 3 years old. So are you going to, break? I mean, it's like probably the marriage is broken, but you are not going to make it any better if you're just going to add oil to the fire. So it's like it's going to be very, very explosive. So is that good for your family? I mean, yes, you are angry. You have a right to be angry with your wife, right? You feel being cheated at the moment here. But
Yeah.
going forward, I mean, especially your son who is so young, 3 years old. So what is in store for him if both parents are not around? So have you actually considered, your son's future at the moment?
Council Tripping. Actually, I want to tell you, I want to go to the civil court. I want to ask for the paternity that ascribed to me, the son. Actually, that he is not mine.
Well, I don't think you have to go to court to do that. You can actually go to a hospital to do a DNA profiling test.
Actually, that's what I want to do. But actually, I want to tell you now that I suspect that the son is not mine.
But you are just making an assumption. You have not even had the evidence yet. So what? Forgive me for saying this. I hear that it's like you are such an angry man that you just want to destroy everything in your path. You are already assuming that your son is not your son. What happens if you are wrong? Did you even think that you might be wrong, that he's actually your son?
No,
Then
actually,
what does that make you?
Actually, I have manhood problem. That's why I know he's not my son. When I got the son, a lot of people congratulated me for being potent at 62, 61. But actually, I had manhood problem. Manhood means the hormone. I see my wife and I see the cat, same. I see my wife, I see the lamppost, the same. No feeling at all.
But you consummated the marriage, right?
Technically, no.
You mean you did not sleep with your wife? You did not have sex with your wife?
I slept with her, but we didn't have sex. Because when I married her, I told her from the beginning that I'm not capable, and she said it's okay.
So at that point of time when she was pregnant, did you question her about it? I mean, why wait 3 years now to bring up this issue? I mean, if you originally have that problem, when she was pregnant, didn't even you have the least suspicion about the pregnancy at all? I mean, it would have raised your suspicions right back then.
Yeah, when I have a manhood problem, it's not like a manhood. It's like medically capable, but physically not capable. It's quite difficult to explain, but yeah. But I feel personally, at that point of time, I thought it was okay because many people were congratulating me. But then I realized now that what I did was wrong.
Well, who does the son look like? Does he look like anyway like you, resemble you in some manner?
Can lah. I mean, can lah, a bit lah. I mean, there's certain angle, the right angling maybe lah. I mean, like, babies all are bald, right? So I'm bald. So yeah, about the same,
So
The baby likes to eat rambutan. I eat rambutan, so we can assume that. But more than that, I don't see any.
Well, he's only 3 years old.
Okay, now, so assuming that I go to the hospital and the DNA proves that he's not mine, can I go to the court, have the birth certificate to remove my name out of the birth certificate? Is it legal under the law? I mean, I don't want the son to grow up and find me and say that I'm irresponsible guy when from the beginning he's not mine.
What do you think, Dewey?
Legally, you could try, but on a very practical level and thinking about the son in the near future, if you want to remove your name from it, your son's going to be facing, he's going to have a lot of questions asking, why is there no father's name on it?
Let the mother answer lah. I mean, like, why should I? And if you're not responsible, I mean, she if she is brave enough to do it, she should bear the consequences, right?
But okay, but we're also looking at an innocent person here who is
I mean, like, with all due respect, now legally speaking, can I go to the civil court and have a court order to remove my name from the birth certificate?
You can try, but we are not the court, so we cannot tell you whether the court will decide in your favor or not.
Okay, from your experience doing the cases like this, from decided cases, your network with other lawyers, Okay, what I'm hearing is something that we should try, But I think the fact that I want to do it shows the gravity and the seriousness of my allegation.
Well,
would you be able to assist me? Would you be able to assist me?
Of course, we can assist you.
Okay, I mean, name your price. I'm good. I mean, whatever price that you name, I'm good. I mean, in fact, I've arranged for my secretary to send a blank check. Blank check. But the check, actually, the blank only amount. I sign the check, you put in the figure. I'm good.
Well, I am not turned on by the money, right? I also have my integrity. I also have my principles. If I were to help you to do something that is already not right and to make it even more wrong, I don't think my conscience can take that.
I'm with you, counsel. I'm with you. My coming from is this. Okay, if she does it secretly, I'm fine. But now she's doing it openly. I'm not fine with that. Okay, I just want to make sure that I just want my right. The child can't grow up accusing me to be the father when I'm not. Because if I'm the father, I have to pay for his education, I have to pay for his food, I have to pay for his shelter. And this I'm talking about high maintenance people, not just sekolah rendah or sekolah menengah. I'm talking about international school and so on. Fiona is high maintenance. She has a reputation to take care of. So my coming from is, the reason why I don't want to be ascribed my paternity to the child is, I don't want to be responsible for his finances because he is not mine. If he's mine, I'm well and good. Now he is not. And we can prove medically through DNA, which I hope to get the results sometime quite soon. And if the DNA is on my side, would you help me? If the DNA states that the child is not mine, would you help me to get my name out of the birth certificate?
We can, but I think I echo what Chui Ping is saying. At the end of the day, it's really the intention and the goal that you're driven by.
Yes, because we not only have to look at your interests, we also have to look at the child's interest here.
I think that's the most paramount.
He is actually an innocent victim.
Correct.
So are you going to destroy his life in the process just because you want to get revenge at your wife? Looking at the bigger picture, I have seen worse cases than this. I mean, I have seen cases where women are being bullied. You know, here in this case is the husband, you as a man. But I have seen cases where women are bullied by their husbands, even with domestic violence and whatnot. And they are crying so much, you know, and I find it so difficult even to help them. You know, it is not like as simple as you want to put it, and then for you to put a blank check, and then it's like so cut and dry. No, it is not so easy, because it looks like you've got, your problems are deeper than this. You know, you are actually looking at the 5 million there. So what is in your mind about the 5 million in that safe? I mean, do you think it was an intentional part, it was something intentional that she did? She purposely left it open for you to find that she had 5 million?
I don't know.
Wait,
But
did you
usually-
open the safe?
No, the safe was not properly locked, so I was curious and opened the safe. Because when we got married, you know, Fiona and I had an agreement. We do not touch. You know, we had a post-nuptial agreement, and you know, in the event of divorce, you know, I mean, a part of the agreement is we don't open each other's safe. I happened to open her safe, and I found that this 5 million in her safe. Now I realize why she put that clause in the agreement.
Well, what if she had opened your safe and she found 10 million in your in your safe?
Then we'll have
That's a different conversation altogether.
no, then we'll share with her. No problem. I mean, I'm good. I'm well and good, you know. But you know, counsel, my point is this, you know. My point is this, right? My point. Okay, we are business people, okay? I'm a business community, right? We are business people. Usually, when we have this kind of money, I would tell my spouse, because we don't want to have any negative impact in the relationship. I mean, what if suddenly, suddenly the spouse have 10 million, 20 million? I mean, where do you get the money from? I mean, like, whatever business she does, I know. I mean, I've got my accountants, and we track. And we can look into the profit and losses. There's no way she can make that 5 million. So where's the money coming from?
Do you think?
I suspect that money is given by her lover, so that if things go wrong, she has an insurance. She has a backup money. Because in business, we always have backup. You see my phone? If I lose my phone, I no problem, because I got backup, iCloud. If I lose my car, no problem, because I got another car, backup. But if I lose Fiona, I don't have backup.
No backup.
No backup. That's why I'm angry. Because the prenuptial agreement that was prepared by Messiah's lover and love and to be loved, right, stipulates that we cannot have extramarital relationship during our marriage. I remember because I asked the lawyer to put that clause. So I want to know whether the prenuptial that we made, can it stand in the civil court?
Is it pre or post?
Prenuptial,
Because
prenup.
Prenup.
Because when I asked Fiona why she was divorced, she wouldn't tell me. So that's why I went to the lawyer and asked the lawyer to do a prenup. But this clever lawyer never stamped the agreement. So I want to know whether the agreement is valid or not.
It's just a question of stamping.
Sorry?
So it's just a question of stamping. You just pay the penalty. So it can be admissible in court if you want to use that. So it's not an issue at all.
Okay, good. That's what I want to know. You know, because, you know, I just want to get this done as soon as possible, because I want to move on, you know, in life. But I think I've had it enough. But I've had enough with Fiona. I think she already, like, she went too much. She was she did it openly, you know. So I don't think I can take it anymore. I'm one leg in the grave, and she did all this to me. I mean, what is all this?
But mind you as well, Robert, I mean, this is not going to be like US and UK where you just show the prenup and therefore it's done and sorted. It still comes down to the discretion and decision of the court itself. So just because it's in the agreement doesn't mean that you will get it or she will get it. Okay.
Then in that case, can I sue the previous lawyer for the lawyer who prepared the prenup agreement for preparing a dude document for me? I mean, like, what kind of lawyer is this?
No,
So,
the
cap ayam,
document is
is it?
valid. No, but the
Cap
document
ayam.
is fine.
Why you're telling
No.
me they cannot? How?
No.
What I want
It
to
has
say,
yeah.
no, sorry. My point is this: if I make an agreement, this agreement must stand in court. If it doesn't stand, I want to sue that lawyer. Can you help me or not? Now, the fact that it wasn't stamped also, actually, you know, I had sleepless night because I thought the agreement was not valid. But now you told me it's a matter of stamping. Now I'm happier now because I know I'm meeting the best lawyer in town. So, you know, I need your advice. Please help me. I know that I sound angry, but
Yeah.
after
I
paying
wouldn't sue the
50,000
lawyer.
a month, after paying 50,000 a month to maintain a wife, that is what 600,000 a year. You know, for 3 years, it's 600,000, 1.8 million. Okay, berapa? 50,000 times 12, how much? 600,000, right?
1.8.
1.8 million, you know? And she ended up screwing the business coach. Now, what's all this?
Okay. So we deal with this whole prenup thing. Don't sue the lawyer. The lawyer did what he can, or she did what she can in terms of drafting the agreement. That's fine. It's still, you can still use it in court. It's not inadmissible. But what we are trying to say is that it's not that you can use it like an actual contract itself, not in terms of in a family kind of dispute.
No, I mean the table clear cut. In a marriage, there wouldn't be any extramarital affairs.
Understand?
Okay, and she doesn't open my safe. I don't open the safe. I mean, like, you know, agreement are made to be honored, right? It's just that I want to pry open a safe. No, I happen to open the safe because it was open. I didn't actually open the safe. The safe was open. I just had a peek, right? So that's why I need your assistance. I know I'm angry. I'm going through an anger management course, right? I don't want to appear so angry because I understand it's hurting people around me. But you know, Counsel CP and Counsel Dway, I want to tell you that if the child is not mine, it's just not mine. He should not carry my name, right? Okay, I was so happy people congratulated me because, you know, I thought 61 still have baby, but actually it's not mine.
Okay.
I believe I have a hunch it's not mine. Okay. And the private investigator confirmed the movement, right? The picture, the transporter confirmed. I just don't have the condom to prove it. A used condom to prove it. But do you want that? I can get the cleaner to get it.
I highly doubt it'll be there anymore.
Okay, we never know, right? I mean, like, you know, I can send I've got ways to get evidence, you know, but I want to know what is the best evidence that I could get, you know, like,
okay,
because she doesn't know that I know, right? So I still have ways to access. You tell me what evidence I need, I will give you the evidence. I'll get it.
Okay. Let's focus first on the child. Assuming that the child is yours, I think you will acknowledge that you will look after the child, right? You will pay for his education.
If mine, yeah, I have no problem.
Okay, that's great. Now, assuming that your son is not your son.
Yes.
Okay, then insofar as maintenance, again, tripping, correct me wrong, in terms of paying for maintenance, you don't have to pay for his maintenance because he's not your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So the first thing I want is to get my name out of the birth certificate. I want a court declaration that to take my name out of the birth certificate based on the DNA test.
Okay.
So the only thing holding back is the DNA test.
Okay.
Right.
So I think I would echo what Tripping is also feeling, that you can, but if you really look at the life of an innocent here, it's going to cause a lot of turmoil to his life for the rest of his life. That's where we are looking at.
Well, how would you like to have a child coming up to you and say, Dway, I'm your son? How would you like that when he's
Robert?
not?
Okay,
Yeah,
Robert.
Yeah.
Let me share an experience. I have just talked to another woman, right, whose marriage has also fallen apart. And in this case, the husband works overseas. And for the past year, right, has not been around because of COVID and cannot come back. And when he finally comes back, what did she find? That he has committed adultery and, you know, the third party is going to give birth. So, I mean, putting it in a reverse, from your kind of a position, so it is not so simple that, cut and dry, that we want to be able to cut something or something, because the main thing is to be able to resolve it in an amicable manner as far as possible, right? Taking into account the interests of everyone concerned. Yes, there is hurt and anger, there is something that is wrong, but as at this moment, it is still a lot of assumptions. You still haven't got the sort of the concrete evidence as yet, and you're beating yourself up, assuming that you are right. I'm not saying that you are not right, right? But just to weigh on the other side of the picture as well, to think rationally, not just on one angle from your side. So to put some kind of a common sense, and then look at it more objectively, so that you will feel that at least you've done justice to yourself, to that little boy, and to your soon to be ex-wife or something, that you are somebody who is despite what you are going through, you still have empathy and compassion as well.
So
I would take it from that kind of perspective.
okay, then in that case, maybe okay. Actually, I'm open to advice. That's why I'm seeing you, both of you today. I want some legal advice. Legal advice, because I personally feel that I have my rights too under the law, right? And I understand that good lawyers understand the rule of law, and excellent lawyers understand the rules of exception. So actually, I'm looking into, as far as possible, the rules of exception. I mean, any lawyer can tell me what the law is, but I want the best lawyer to tell me the rules of exception. Now, coming from my perspective, what I'm looking at is I want basically this meeting is more of like, I want to explore what are my options.
Okay.
Right? Now, assuming that the child is not mine, I want to know whether I can go to the court and get a court declaration. That's number one. Assuming that DNA proves it. Based on the fact that the pictures, the photograph, and my manhood issue. If you want the medical report, I can give you the medical report, right?
But the DNA would be strong enough, Robert, to show that the son is not yours, or is yours.
Yeah. I hope so, right? And number two, I want to protect, I want to know my rights under the prenup, because if the prenup is if cap ayam, is chicken brand, right? It's not strong enough, then definitely, it's as if like I don't have an agreement. So, and I'm supposed to protect my business empire, right? So I don't want to, I want to protect my interest. I've built all my life. The reason why I didn't marry until I'm old, because I want to make sure that my business is strong enough, strong enough and is solid enough. So I want to make sure that this stands. Yeah, right. So please advise me what is the best way to do. Because I don't want to die an angry man.
Understand?
Okay, like I said, one leg is already in the grave. So I need some good counsel from both of you on what should I do. What is the best option that I should do? So maybe you can guide me.
Do your DNA test. Find out for sure. In event if not your son, then get a declaration. That's fine. Insofar as the prenup is concerned, it's not to say that it's cap ayam kind of thing. It is still there. It is a valid agreement. It would be more towards a reflection of the intention of parties based on what is there. So I wouldn't be so quick to go and sue your lawyers who drafted the prenup. I think that they did a good job anyhow, conveying what was needed between the parties.
Like this. Okay, I'm gonna have my secretary to email you the copy of the agreement. Okay, but if the lawyer did screw up, okay, I want you to help me to find the lawyer who specializes in suing lawyers. Can you help me with that?
Sure, of course, can.
Okay, right. And I want to make sure, that whatever indemnity that they're covered for, they're really, because I've got enough. I mean, I've built my fortune for 60 years, suddenly having to be shortchanged by my by my soon-to-be ex-wife and the lawyer, you know, if it's true lah, if it is true, right? Then, you know, I mean, like, I'm building a sandcastle. So I don't want that. I've been I feel enough is enough being cheated. So that's why I go to both of you, because I know both of you are good lawyers with integrity. Like CP said that, you know, no amount of money can motivate her, but I don't think she does pro bono as well. So, you know, I'm okay to pay. I mean, like,
Reasonable. I mean, for what I spend my time on,
Yeah.
a fair and reasonable price. You
it's
know,
okay. I'm good. You just, like I said, you just name your figure. I'll send you a blank check because I know you are reasonable people. Actually, I've Googled both of you from the internet, right? And I know the kind of work that you do. I've sent my feelers. That's why I'm meeting both of you today. Actually, I come here because I've got good vibes about both of you. So that's why I want to know. Right? So far now. So can you advise me in general? How
Okay.
should I proceed with this? Now, assuming that number one, the child is not mine.
Okay, we answered already.
Okay.
Get the declaration.
Number two, if the prenup, okay, the prenup.
Also answered
Okay.
already. So now it's a matter of
Hey, the
adultery.
prenup. The prenup, how? What do we do with the prenup? Okay, I'm going to send you to confirm, to confirm, right? So I need your confirmation that the prenup can stand in the court of law.
Okay, assuming you send it to us, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the terms can be honored in the court of law. Yeah?
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot take like some can, some cannot. No, it's either
No,
yes
I
or no,
understand.
right?
Yeah. The agreement itself is fine, taken in its totality. But like I said, it's not like a breach of contract where I'm going to rely on the contract itself to claim breach. Because ultimately, it's still the court who's going to decide what is best for the child, what is best for each spouse as well.
Definitely. But you know, my coming from is because I also have other lawyer friend. So they tell me the court decide on what is submitted by the counsel and what's prepared by the lawyer, right?
Yeah.
If the lawyer is cap ayam, right, and document go to court, go so cap ayam, of course you get cap ayam. The judgment will be not in our favor. I mean, the judge deal with lawyer every day, so they know how lawyers think, right? But if I get ting tong lawyer, then susah. That's why I come to both of you, because I know you are the best lawyer in town. You know, with integrity, with strong networking. So that's why I come to you. So I want to know now on the prenup. Okay, I'm gonna say, to be fair, you will please look at the prenup.
Sure.
And then tell me whether it can stand in the court of law. Yeah.
Okay, can. So
okay, right.
Then, while we wait for that, then let's just address the whole adultery, divorce, and then any form of maintenance, and of course, the 5 million that you saw in her safe.
Yes. What happened? What happens? Yeah. Please advise me. So if you have any question, you just ask me. I'll answer the best that I can. But what I want to do is I want to build a strong case. Should in the worst case scenario that things would be in our favor, and I can assure you, as my solicitors, as my lawyers, right? I always cherish and gratitude with people who help me along the way. But so any question you ask me, I'm good. So how should we move forward now? Now I'm preparing for the worst case scenario now.
I leave it to you.
Whoa. It's definitely not going to be easy, because there will be a lot of groundwork that needs to be done basing on your assumptions, right?
Right.
Then looking at the worst case scenario and even the best case scenario. I mean, we will have to look at different scenarios,
right,
to be able to advise you properly.
Right.
And basing on the documents, the evidence, and all that, it's like, it is not as simple as it seems, right? So it might also be a long drawn out affair as well. And if you can actually come to an agreement with your wife to have a consent divorce rather than drag everything, dirty linen and all to the court. And as you have also mentioned, your one foot is in the grave.
Yeah.
So,
correct.
What is this going to do to your health? Are you able, will your health be able to withstand, this kind of a stress? Is it worth it, to actually fight it for the revenge, to get the anger out, and then to it's like to beat up the other person to a pulp or something like that. So at the end of the day, by doing that, let's say you get the chance to do that, will you be happy?
And it's going to
You
be
know?
about 2 or 3 years, Robert, for all of this to go away.
I'm
And
okay. I'm
I
okay.
hear what Tripping said. Are you happy with the outcome? I completely agree with Tripping.
Okay, wait. I'm willing to go to do whatever it takes.
Because also, Robert, I'm looking at the day when, let's say, you get what you want and you're still not happy, and then you decide to come back and sue us for giving you the wrong advice, for
No,
making you
I'm
such a happy man. You know,
okay. Wait,
I don't want that situation as well.
Tripping. I'm going to sign an indemnity letter with regard to both of you. I'm indemnify you. Because, like I said, I've done my homework. Both of you are the best. So I want to make sure I'm going to indemnify both of you, right? You can put it in your terms of engagement that whatever advice you've taken is bona fide. As long as bona fide and to my best interest, I'm good. Would that be? Are you comfortable if I'm to do that?
Okay. Well,
Because
Do you want to answer that?
I've got to make sure that I have the right people on my bus. I've got to have the right team, the right people, my right team on me. You know.
okay.
So I'm starting with the best legal team. Right.
Okay, because this is a hypothetical kind of scenario, we'll go through the process of say for example, we say yes, Robert, yeah, we'll agree. You can sign any indemnity, we accept it. Whatever fees you pay us, we accept it, and then we'll advise you. Because this is a hypothetical situation. In a very realistic kind of scenario, no matter what, even the client signs an indemnity as well, it's not much left to me. He or she can still sue.
I said, okay,
Yeah.
I will sign indemnity. I'll go to commissioner for oath, chop. You can stamp it, go to stamp office, you stamp, you know. I'm good with all that.
Robert, it doesn't work like that. You
No,
know, it doesn't work like that. We are not robots, you know. We are people, you know.
Counsel.
So when we do something, we want to do it right as well, you know. In the right. Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So my coming from is this, okay? My coming from is this. You know, I want you to get me right, you know, the first time. I'm sorry I came in angry, but now I just want to know whether the law actually can protect me. Right?
Okay. So for purposes of this session, then let's go on the basis that both Chupi and I myself are on board as your lawyers. Then
thank you.
We will,
right? Assumption. We go on with assumption.
Okay.
Right.
And for the listeners out there, just very briefly as to how this is going to pan out.
Right. So now, what is the best way for us to initiate the divorce proceeding?
Okay.
Now, do you recommend? Do you recommend an ambush, or do we recommend sending the messenger to start the negotiation process? What Chipping said? Consent divorce.
It would be so I agree with Tripping as well 100% because it's always better to go via a joint petition where everyone agrees to all the terms. You save time, you save cost, and you still get to go on with your life. If that cannot work, and if you go via a single petition, then you have to be prepared to have this drag on, well, especially with FMCO, etc. You're going to be 2-3 years, which is what Tripping is saying. Once if you do get everything that you want to, even then, if you're not happy, then you will have wasted 3 years of your life, which could have been done for others.
Okay, so what I'm listening now is if I can get Fiona and her lawyer to agree to a consent divorce based on certain terms, then it will save time, right? And I still pay you the same fees. If is lagi cepat pun I still the same fee, lambat pun I still the same fee. No? If cepat, I pay you more. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, you're saving me time. I'm okay to pay more.
No. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Because probably that's why we lawyers don't get rich, you see. So we go by the amount of work that we do.
Correct.
Right? We are guided by our bar counsel as well, as to what we can actually charge. it won't be an unconscionable kind of an amount, you know. So if it's less work done, definitely we are not going to charge you as what we would charge for a full trial, you know, for 2-3 years work. Because if you can finish it within 6 months and you can move on with your life and you are happy, I'm happy as well that I've done a good case. We have done a good case, and we have helped someone move along in their life going forward, rather than living in regret and anger and full of hate and revenge and all that. No, it doesn't benefit anyone, least of all you. You
Okay,
see?
so what I'm hearing is good lawyers litigate, excellent lawyers mediate. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, in a
Okay, right.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, now say that in the worst case scenario, okay, we're planning now. If there's going to be a consent judgment, right, both party, I want a term whereby I want to claim compensation of 10 million from Fiona for breaching the prenuptial agreement.
Can only if she agrees.
Exactly. Now, people say that don't if you don't like mud, don't wrestle with the pig, because the pig will get all the pig loves mud and it'll all get dirty, and and the person end up dirty. You know what I mean? I mean, don't ever, if you don't like mud, don't wrestle with the pig. I mean, I don't mind being the pig here, right? Because I know that Fiona, because she is an online cosmetic queen, she her reputation is everything. People say those who rise by the internet will fall by the internet. So those who rise by social media will fall by social media. So I think that she has enough enemies that is training bullets on her. So can we put as a term as to start with that I want to claim 10 million compensation? I know that Fiona don't have the money, but I'm sure the boyfriend will pay.
Well, if she agrees, you can definitely put it in. If she agrees to it, then everyone all fine and dandy. But if she doesn't agree to it, then the whole idea of a joint petition
divorce doesn't
correct.
doesn't go through.
Okay,
then you have to go via a single petition.
Okay, so how long does it take if it's to go through a single petition? What is the timeline normally? 2 years. 2 years. Okay, 2 to 3 years.
That's what we're talking about. 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Okay, and
because it's going to be contested. It's going to be highly contested from what.
And there'll be a lot of documents going back and fro, and affidavits and, in between interlocutory applications and all that. So it's going to be hugely messy. And do you want to spend the twilight years of your life fighting a case of this kind, rather than, moving forward and enjoying your life? Because in life, there are wins and there are losses as well. Nothing is
well, counsel, this I must say, if I have the few good men and women like both of you beside me, I don't mind going through it, because I know I have the best with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay.
So,
Robert.
Yeah,
sorry. I am not one who will encourage you to go to war. Okay. That is not my style of practice. I don't do that.
I understand. I mean, right now what we're doing is actually we're doing some risk assessment, right, of what's happening, and actually you're evaluating whether I have a good cause, right? So my sharing with you is that I have all the solid evidence with me, which I believe is solid evidence, right? And if you require further evidences, I mean, even of getting the condom, a used condom, I'll get it for you. I have no issue with that. Just tell me what evidence you want.
Okay. I don't know about you, Dewey. I would just want to help you resolve the matter with the least damage.
Correct.
Right? And not having to show the whole dirty linen to the world.
Kitchen sink plates all chucked into the whole thing. But I think chipping, I mean, perhaps for purposes of this session, and for the benefit of the listeners, I think you and I are quite clear, and we've been trying to get this client of ours, or soon to be, or may not be a client, to not embark on it, but he's adamant. And just for the listeners' sake, if in a scenario where push come to shove, no other choice, if he goes for a single petition, then perhaps you could just guide the listeners briefly as to what are the things to expect. I think all listeners would now know that, okay, there's a lot of work to be done. Maybe I should be more amenable to other things as well.
But you don't worry, because from the beginning of the marriage, I keep all my receipts. All the invoice, whatever 50,000 that I pay Fiona, I have all actually invoice. She will sign acceptance. That one is all taken care of by my accountant.
Okay, so in the scenario that it's now no other choice, we go by single petition, then I'll just start the ball rolling. Number one, you need to go and you need to have an appointment with the a conciliatory body to try to resolve it. If not, then you get a letter or some acknowledgement from the marriage tribunal to say that the marriage cannot be salvaged. Of course, there are exceptions, but that's the general rule.
So I have to go through a tribunal first, a tribunal. All right, okay.
Yeah. After which, then you can file your single petition, and assuming that the evidence is strong for adultery, then you name the alleged adulterer as a third party or party cited.
Oh, you mean you can sue the business coach as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, he's the one with the honey, with the juice.
Chiping, you want to add on anything to that?
You're doing fine, Dewey. Just continue.
So then, of course, there are the requisite forms here and there to be exchanged between parties. Then it goes for before it goes for trial. Each lawyer would then exchange documents, etc., in preparation and in line with the objective of going for trial. And when it comes to trial, you give evidence, Fiona gives evidence, the coach gives evidence, the investigator comes and gives evidence as well, which is why we're saying it's a long drawn process. So we always try to advocate not to go through that long drawn process, and if it can be resolved, better. Of course, it won't benefit the lawyers at all, because ultimately, if it's done fast, we won't be able to charge much fees. But I think conscience-wise, we are able to sleep well at night, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, at least you don't end up with a bald head like me, right? Thinking about everything, right? Okay, I'm with you. I mean, I'm on the same page. What we're doing is that, what I'm hearing is there'll be legal process that I have to go through. This is not Hollywood, right? This is not like a movie, I'm sure there'll be paparazzi. I mean, it will come out in the newspaper.
Not in Malaysia. I think not in Malaysia. It's very mundane.
No. Actually, Malaysian reporter, especially those in the cyber troopers, they know their stuff. So I'm okay. I mean, I'm okay to tip them. I have no issue.
No, ever.
Did I not tell you that I'm the pig? I do know that some lawyers, when they want to get publicity, they just keep the reporters.
Yes, Robert, you have to bear in mind, when you do that, you are also giving a certain impression to the judge. So do you want to maintain a certain kind of image, or you want to play dirty, and then it's like there is no end if you do that? Because is it for the publicity that you want to do it? It's like, what do you want to achieve by doing that?
So like I said, I want to help you to finish the case early. Like I said, Fiona is very sensitive to her reputation. I said those who rise via social media will fall by social media. So I'm sure she doesn't want her name to be sullied in the market, because she sells cosmetic. So actually it will wait. So actually it is a catalyst for us, let me have, I've got a cyber troopers to do it. That one, you don't worry. All right. You don't know anything about this. We never had this conversation.
But just told us this, Robert. No,
I'm sorry. Okay, I withdraw my statement, but I just want to tell you that, the cyber troopers will love all of this, and Malaysian, the Jabatan Netizen Negara, they are so good with all this. You don't worry, Malaysian cyber troopers, Israel also, they can attack website. So I know there's a few good ones. So, but my point is this. I want to escalate this matter to a mediation. You know, I mean, I want, you know, if I can get my 10 million, I'm happy, right? Because now COVID and everything. No, but if we can't, then, you know, I mean, like, there's a price tag for everything. If she's not happy and she's willing to pay, then by all means. I mean, if the business coach is willing to pay, by all means, right? But at the end of the day, what I'm hearing is, I know it's a long drawn process, okay, but you know, I want to acknowledge both of you that, you know, I want both of you to be on my team, because when I have the best lawyer with me, I know that you can't be bought, right? I know that when you're acted on your conscience, and I know that you're doing things in good faith and in my best interest. So that's why we're having this conversation. Yeah, I'm with you. I hear that. I've done my assessment, you know, I've done my homework, you know, and I just want to make sure that, you know, yep, and I'm willing to cooperate. Now, you just tell me what needs to be done.
Okay, I think, Dewey, I think we can work together and then send him the list, you know, the kind of evidence and documents that we would need from him, and then only proceed from there.
Correct.
Because otherwise there'll be a lot of speculation and a lot of assumptions, and we just don't know the outcome.
Yep.
You know, it's like what the Chinese would say, when you are the matchmaker, you do not guarantee the birth of a child. You know,
Well said,
so
very well.
we do the best that we can, right, within the law, right, and help you fight the best case. That, I think, is our promise.
Okay, right. I'm with you. Just to tell you, I'm a gladiator myself, right? When I go into the arena, I know that only one person will come out. I'm aware of my whatever, you know, the odds are, you know. But the fact that both of you are in my team is something which I'm very happy of.
That's good to know.
Okay,
Right.
thank you for the confidence.
Right. So, is there any other thing that I'm missing, or do you think that you should know about this case that you think will be resourceful in this first meeting?
I think that would be enough for now, pending all the documents for and evidence for this adultery.
Right. So, okay, right. So, okay, like I said, I will sign an indemnity letter, right, to make sure that that I identify both of you, because I want to show that I'm coming in good faith. Okay. But if the firm the lover and to be loved screw up, you know, I want to make sure that they pay the price.
Understood.
Right, because I think as a businessman, I don't want to be shortchanged this way, and I don't think it's fair. And I think the legal profession has always been, you know, prides itself in upholding the law, right? And having this thing being shortchanged is not something I'm looking at. But to be fair to that lawyer who prepared the document, I'll forward you the document for your assessment, and to make sure that it's something that you know. That is something which is would hold in the court of law. Now, I wish I've met you guys earlier. I mean, like, you have saved me a lot of time, you know.
It's not too late.
Yeah, you met us now, so what is meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah. I believe that right. So now moving forward, actually, is it good to have, when a document is prepared by a lawyer, is it good to have it reviewed by another lawyer, you know, for my future cases, future contracts? You know, as a businessman, I don't know much about the law, right? So if I mean, both of you, I have full confidence, no problem. But in the future, if a lawyer gives me a document and I sign, should I have it vetted by an independent third party lawyer for just like we go to doctor and get second opinion? Is it something which is prudent to do?
Okay, let me ask you this question. Since you are such a big businessman with such a big business empire, I'm sure you actually have an in-house legal team already. You know, someone who's working closely with you, or a team who's actually working closely with you and looking after all your business matters as well. So they would just be as qualified, you know, to help you look into a personal matter of yours.
But I want legal counsel. I mean, that's one of business operation. This one is personal document. I mean, like, you know, I cannot pass my prenup to in-house counsel. They're not. Yeah. So, you know, when it's prepared externally, is it a good practice for me to give to another legal firm to vet through, to confirm that the documents are the integrity of document is solid? Is it a good practice?
It can be considered. It can be considered. I mean, it's always good to get a second opinion, or maybe even a third opinion. There's no right and wrong in that, you know. So, but it is still will be the lawyer's personal opinions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So so is there any other thing that I should know, or should I
No.
other than your legal fees, which I'm sending the check on Monday, a blank check, right? A signed blank check, okay, not a blank check, a signed blank check. You put in the figures, all right? I just want to make sure that
I think you probably have to lock that check up first. I think I want to have a look at it.
I mean, like you know, I'm giving my all for this case. You know, I hope you can assist me on this.
Of course,
right?
Of course. I mean, we will assist regardless of whether there's a blank check signed. You know?
No. I mean, hey guys, you know, like I know what lawyers do, right? And you know, like in the case of you know, a murder of the entrepreneur and you know the driver, the bodyguard, and the driver, bodyguard, lawyer, and entrepreneur. Remember the case, the Banting case? Do you know who get whacked first between the four? You follow the case? Exactly. So that's why I pay my lawyer, because I know that, you know, they'll be they give their all. Okay. I understand the legal profession, and I know my lawyers, they stand by me. So we take care of each other.
Of course.
Right?
Okay.
And I know that you will whatever I've told you today, you will carry it to your grave.
Oh, everything they say is all confidential. Yes, definitely.
Okay, understood. Right?
Although we're doing this on social media, where everyone is seeing.
No, but I think everybody, I think our audience should know that what it means to have the confidentiality, right?
It's within the four walls. Yes.
Correct.
Exactly. So is there any other thing that
confidentiality?
Right. So is there anything else that they will do before we complete?
No.
Okay, now can I change my name to Amir?
Robert goes back to Amir. Oh, okay. Sorry, Robert reverts to Amir.
All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you very much. That was the end of the session.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's do a review, if you're okay, for about maybe for about 10 minutes.
10,
right.
10. Sorry, I mean, are you opening it up for any Q&A, or it's just this listening?
I think we have a Q&A. If there's any listeners, viewers who like to do a Q&A, we are open. Guys, listeners, just type in, and actually you can see in the chat box. Okay. Now, okay, I like to play this game, right? I hope you play along. How would you describe the whole conversation in one word?
Intense.
Intense, all right?
Intense, especially actually only because of the client.
Right. In a sentence, why is it intense in a sentence?
You're looking at someone who is very, first impression, hard-headed, not too reasonable. And of course, I understand that it's because of emotions. So what Shipping and I were trying to do was to try to get you to put aside the emotions, the anger, the ego, and to look at the greater good of things.
Right. And CP, how would you encapsulate the whole conversation in one word? I mean, the whole process.
Presumptuous.
In a sentence?
Yes, that too.
In a sentence?
In a sentence, it's like, it's always better to look at both sides of the story and look at it over and over again in a objective sense, and not to be driven just by the emotional part. I know it's very easy to be driven by just the emotions. And when you are driven by emotions, most of the time you may not be making the correct decisions for yourself in the long term. Because it's not just about yourself here. You're talking about a whole family of 3 persons.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that is a bigger picture here. And you're talking also about a small boy who's 3 years old.
Correct.
Whose whole future might be affected by what you are doing or what both of you are doing. So, will you want to carry that to your grave, irrespective of whether he is your son or not your son, but another human life?
Yeah, correct.
do you want to carry a certain conscience to your grave?
Great.
Now, if I may share, my experience of this conversation in one word is moderation. I realized that I started angry, but ending I started with the heart, but I ended up with the what we call the heart and the head. I ended up with the head. So actually from emotion to rational. So what you did, you moderated me. You diluted me. You managed to dilute me, right? Okay. Now just sharing, in terms of just for discussion, right? Actually under the Islamic law, you know that I'm a family lawyer, specifically a divorce lawyer, Islamic law. Actually under the Islamic law, a man, the husband has two inherent rights. Now, just for sake of discussion, yeah, because it's another separate legal system altogether. Now, under the Islamic law, a man can actually divorce a wife without a reason.
Oh.
He can pronounce talak. Talak means if for example, the man says, I divorce you, even without intention, that divorce is considered valid. That's number one. Okay,
Sorry,
number two.
When you talk about talak, does it have to be 3 times from
No, once.
Once.
Okay, the maximum 3 times. So actually, I'm one of the privileged divorce lawyer who's been divorced.
Oh, sorry to
twice.
hear that.
No, I'm good. Actually, good things do happen that cannot come out of divorce. Okay, so actually, it's part of my book that I've written. Okay, so but basically, my coming from is that I'm not proud of it, but like I said, it's a journey in life, and one of the good things that come out of it is I can share my experience through this. What we have our forum today, right? Partly because of researching all the legal cases and so on. So, but my coming from is this: number one, a Muslim man can actually divorce the wife by the utterance of talak. If the man says, "I divorce you," with or without intention, the divorce is valid. Okay. If it's done outside the court, then it is an offence, punishable by a penalty of 1,000 ringgit. If I'm not mistaken, 1,000 ringgit or 6 months jail, or both. There's a penalty if done outside the court. Okay. Okay. Number two, a husband's inherent right is he can accuse the wife of adultery without 4 witnesses, or he can deny the paternity of the child ascribed to him. That is his inherent right. However, for this process to go through, he has to go to the court and he has to swear in the name of God 4 times to make the allegation. And the 5th allegation, he has to say, if I lie, the wrath of God is upon me. And the wife will have to take an oath 4 times to deny that allegation. And the 5th time she will say, if I lie, the wrath of God is upon me. And after that, the marriage is dissolved and they cannot marry forever and ever. There's no way of reconciliation whatsoever. So we term it as it's called li'an under Islamic law, or I call it the nuclear strategy. So if a man goes to the court and says, I want to accuse my wife of adultery, he just have to take the oath. And that's it.
And they can never ever remarry.
They can never ever remarry. The child's paternity will not be prescribed to the man. The child's paternity, the child's name, like then the bin, right? The bin kan or binti to the mother. He won't be the father anymore.
Oh.
Because the child cannot deny who's the father, who's the mother, right?
I see.
So that is from the Islamic perspective when it comes to the dissolution of marriage. One of the doors of dissolution of marriage.
So, say for example, the child is say bin or binti, the father's name. So once the dissolution happens, the child needs to change his name from bin or binti, the mother's name.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
So that is.
Has that ever happened in Malaysia?
Yeah, actually, I did a case.
Okay.
A local married a foreigner. It so happened that the wife has taste for foreigners. When the husband was in the home country, she actually had an affair with another foreigner. Husband came back, found out that the car was, the car's odometer was ramped up when the wife cannot drive. And when he came back, the wife was pregnant. And the FB of the wife was very weird, peculiar. So he spoke to me, and we took the case. We went to the court. The wife was pregnant, and we went to the court to deny the paternity of the child to the man. No, because that's why in the case just now I said, look, if it's not mine, I'm not going to pay for the education, because that is the basis.
I
So
see.
under the Islamic law, once so we went to the court. So but actually I prepared all the court work, all the court papers, but I couldn't carry the case because I was away. So the client, my father also Sharia lawyer, actually accompanied the client to the court, and the man swore 4 times in the court that the child is not his. The 5th time said, if I lie, God will punish me. I said I'm okay with that. And when I asked my dad whether the wife took an oath to deny, the wife just kept quiet. She chose to keep quiet.
So would there be an inference drawn from that? If
Yes,
the wife
yes. So basically in the Sharia court, I mean, I would say you can play with anything, but don't play with God, because he just have to pull one what we call one nerve, and we're already paralyzed. So under the Islamic legal system, when it comes to marriage, it's it's a very serious thing. That's why under the Islamic law, it is a criminal offense even to accuse a person of adultery without witnesses.
I see.
It's a crime.
What would be the What would be the sentencing if it's found?
80 lashes. Rotan lah, cane 80 times.
Wait, 18 or 80?
80. Under the Islamic criminal, okay, but in Malaysia, the Sharia court jurisdiction is only 356. I think 3,000 ringgit. But the maximum lashes is about 5 to 6 only. That's all. But actually under the if you goes back to the Quran as our source, like our constitution, so to say. The Quran is the constitution, is the penal code. Okay, the penal code inside the Quran says 80 lashes. So that's why even to accuse a person actually is a crime. It's considered a serious crime, a very serious crime. So yeah, but in Malaysia, our constitution is supreme, right? So actually, the powers of the Sharia court actually is what is ascribed by the constitution.
I see.
So in terms of
sorry, just want to ask, how long would usual dissolution of marriage take?
If it's consent divorce, consented. Now in Selangor and now in Kuala Lumpur, we have a fast track. 8 o'clock register at the counter. 12 o'clock we get the court order.
Whoa!
And within 30 working days, you get already the divorce certificate.
Wow, that's really
so actually the Sharia court is promoting a fast track. So basically, it's self-mediation lah, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's self-mediation, right? But if we're going,
sorry,
does this ramp up the statistics of divorce cases in Sharia law?
It does actually. It does. It does. But more importantly, from the Islamic perspective, this is sharing with what a book that I wrote. Actually, in Islam, when we talk about divorce, the exact word is it must be done with compassion. Okay, compassion means, right? To me, compassion means doing a fast track is part of compassion. Compassion.
Compassion. I see.
People can live together. Why go through 2 years? I mean, you both agree, consent judgment, one day, settle.
You mean even if the marriage is 1 month old or something like that?
Good question. Yeah.
Yes. If it is if it is a fast track, means both parties agree to the divorce. They must agree.
Is it based on the a certain number of years of the marriage or months?
No. Nothing.
So even if you get married like last month, you can still get this
divorce. Yep. As long as both parties agree, that's what we call the fast track.
Wow.
And usually fast track divorce doesn't involve lawyers.
So in which case, it's like, I think that is in a way pretty serious,
Yeah.
It actually brings a lot of consequences because sometimes couples can just say things in anger and then they go to court and get a divorce. And then after which they got a divorce, then they might actually regret what they have done.
And they
They can
can't remarry, right?
reconcile. No, they can reconcile. They can reconcile.
But they can't remarry.
They can. See, under the Islamic law, if
Oh.
a person is divorced, right, within the 3 menstrual cycle, they can
I
reconcile.
see.
That's what we call the waiting period.
Which is 3 months.
Okay, but interestingly, under the Islamic law, it's
I see.
benchmarked against the a woman's menstrual cycle. Okay, but if the woman has like a menopause, for example, then it's based on 3 lunar calendars.
When you say lunar calendars, it's the Islamic lunar calendar.
Yes. I mean, the Muslims, like the Chinese, we use lunar calendar, right? Because we actually can look at the moon and we know what is the date.
Right.
Compared to Gregorian, which is sun solar based. Solar, you don't know which day. Every day is the same. Right? You look at the solar calendar, you look at the sun, every day the same. Right? But if you look at the lunar, it's easier to know. Oh, half month, okay, gaji another 15 days. Oh, the full moon, okay, gaji time. It's quite easy. So yeah. So it's based on lunar calendar.
Sorry, last question.
Sure.
If parties don't consent, if only one party wants a divorce,
Right.
usually agak-agak how long will
6
the
months?
entire court process?
6 months.
Even faster. Oh my goodness!
So what happened is that
faster than civil courts.
I think based on our the interview. So what happened is when they go to the court on the, say for example, we call under section 47. Section 47 refers to uttering divorce with the consent of the court. The court must consent, because if the court doesn't give the consent, it's a crime.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So they go to the court, and if the husband does not agree to the divorce, or either party doesn't agree, they will go through a reconciliatory body.
I see.
Okay, first among the family members. Okay, if it doesn't work out, then court appointed reconciliatory body. And once the court appointed reconciliatory body is given the power, like the power of attorney, to decide whether the marriage should continue or the marriage should be dissolved, then the court will decide. So basically 6 months. 6 months, yeah, 6 months.
Wow.
But I have actually heard of divorces that actually drag longer than that.
That is when there's contentious divorce.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. If it's contentious?
Sorry?
If it's contentious?
Contentious, that it will be okay now. Now let's see. Contentious in what way? Okay, it can be contentious in the sense that the wife wants to ask for a divorce, but the husband refused to do so.
Correct.
So actually, under the Islamic law, under the Islamic legal system, actually there are many strategies that a wife can use. Like number one, she can compensate the husband. Like the consent judgment, the 10 million. So actually, the wife can buy the divorce from the husband. So basically, the wife is saying, "I give you money, you find other women lah, but release me lah," something like that lah.
Okay.
Okay, that's one way to resolve the marriage. Okay, number two, she can go to the court and say that the husband is a monster. So the court can dissolve the marriage based on the wife's testimony. But that will take time. That will like 6 months to 1 year, 2 years.
Oh, okay lah. So that means it's quite the same as civil courts as well in terms of the duration. So I'm assuming that the more contentious it is, the longer the case is lah.
But interestingly, under the Islamic law, we also have what we call a conditional divorce. Say that the husband said, if you touch my handphone, consider yourself divorced. And the wife touched the handphone, dissolve. Conditional.
Wow. Okay.
So that if a husband Power Ranger, right, want to show the power, say, you go back to your parents' house, you consider yourself divorced. Then the wife happily go to the husband's parents' house. Divorce. And sorry? So this is what we call conditional. Upon the fulfillment of certain condition, divorce will take place.
I see. Okay.
So that's why in a Muslim, in any marriage, I would say the rule of a happy marriage is don't do what the husband don't like, you don't do. What the wife don't like, you don't do. That's the key to a happy marriage.
True. True. Okay, I've got no further questions, Samir, but thanks for having us.
Thank you
thanks
very
for
much. I mean,
inviting us.
actually, I learned a lot today. I learned a lot.
Likewise, I think we also learn a lot from you.
Likewise, we learn a lot
Right.
about Muslim marriages.
Right. Yeah. So we wish our audience a happy marriage, right?
Yes.
But in case things don't work out, please don't jump from the 18th floor. You know, don't hang yourself. You have Tripping and Dewey. You know, I think they have good counsel who'll be able to give good advice. I think the most important thing is that in any marriage is to give all out 100%. And if things don't work out, let go and let God.
Yep.
Counsel, thank you very much for taking me as I am.
I love the
taking
Robert.
Robert
I love
as
how
he
you
is.
channel Robert.
But in today's session, the smoking gun, right? The smoking gun. I think we are very blessed to have two lawyers who will be able to give good advice. And I usually would recommend both of you to any of my clients who's looking for family lawyers.
Civil,
Likewise.
family lawyers. Yes.
Family lawyers. Now you say divorce lawyer, the aura is so negative. So I say family lawyer. Why? We make sure whatever happens, families stay together. Thanks so much. God bless.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.